Voiceflow Runtime Client. Take your Voiceflow projects and bring them to any type of conversational platform with minimal setup. You can think of it as putting your own spin on the test tool and making it more powerful than ever with integrations, custom steps, and behaviors. It allows you to take all the best parts of Voiceflow, the convenience of a drag and drop canvas, intents and slots with natural language processing, flows, logic, versioning, and so much more. It works like this. Each time a user interacts with your app, the Runtime Client makes an API request to Voiceflow's runtime engine, which figures out where to go next and what to say back. The request contains useful things like the user's current state and what they've said, and the response gives back a new state and a list of traces to act on. Let's start by making a simple Voiceflow project. Here with a speak step, we ask the user what they want, followed by a prompt step. This allows them to jump to our intent step, which captures their pizza order and confirms it. Let's start running it in the test tool to make sure everything is working. You can train your model as well.
What can I get for you? Just to confirm, you want a pepperoni pizza? Great. A pepperoni pizza is on the way.
Great, that was easy. Next, we'll head over to github.com/voiceflow. Here we'll find a RCJS examples repository, and now we can clone or download it. I already have it on my computer, and you can open it up in your preferred IDE. Under hamburger order jQuery, which is the example we'll be looking at today, we'll find an index.html file. You'll see that this constitutes a very primitive web page, and we only import two scripts, jQuery to help manipulate the DOM, and Voiceflow Runtime Client, which is the SDK we'll integrate Voiceflow with. In the body itself, we'll see that there's nothing but an input field and a button. So if I actually open up this HTML page, we'll see that there's nothing but an input field and a button that does nothing when we click it right now. To integrate with Voiceflow, simply go back to your project and find the version ID. This is what comes after a project and before Canvas whenever you have a Voiceflow project open. Grabbing that number, we'll head over to version ID and paste it in. Now to fetch the API key, I'll head back to the desktop, go to Workspace and go to Workspace Settings. Just a note that this settings page is only available if you are an admin of the workspace. Here I'll create a new API key and call it Pizza API 1. This API key will only be shown to you once, so be sure to keep it somewhere safe. Grabbing the API key, I'll paste it in. Saving the file and heading back over, I'll refresh it. And now if I type hello, we'll see that it'll prompt me, want a cheese pizza? Yes. And that's exactly the same flow we constructed back over on our Voiceflow project earlier. We can see how we can apply what happens in the test tool and put it into any interface, in this case a very primitive web page, and get things working. Just to show things that are a little bit more complicated, we can also add a visual as well. So here I will upload an image of a pizza, run the test again just to make sure my changes will get applied, and back over on our SDK, we see that there is a chatbot.onSpeak call here. So whenever we come across a speak block, we're actually appending the message of the speak into our root. If I copy this chunk of code, and instead I do chatbot on visual, and instead of trace.payload.message, I'll do trace.payload.image. And I will now create a new image element every single time we come across a visuals block. Saving that, I'll head back over and refresh the page. I'll actually set a limited width on this just to make sure our image doesn't get too big. Refreshing the page, and if I type hello now, so that we actually get the image of the pizza that I want. I want a cheese pizza. Yes, and so on. And that's essentially the basis to building something on Voiceflow. And there are a lot of other traces that you can use based on the blocks you have on your Voiceflow project. All we're doing right now, if we examine the code closely, is every time I hit the send button, I'll trigger this handle send function, which derives the text that the user put in. And all I have to do is chatbot.sendText. And now this will activate any of my trace handlers, which is on speak or on visual. This is just a small showing of what you can do with the Voiceflow SDK, and this can be embedded or integrated with any other service or front end. So short of a web page, you can also do an app on Facebook Messenger, Line, WhatsApp, or anything else. So there's a lot of potential here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys will build.